Hello.
Hey.
Hello, I'm Jan from The Upcoming. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, DW.
You got your film at the BFI Film Festival. How important is it for you?
I mean, it feels great to be here. I love London. I used to live here years ago, and so it's really exciting for me to bring Backspot here and show it to the UK crowd.
What's the story behind your film? I know you had to make a transition from a short film to a feature debut. So how your work did look like on that project?
Yeah, so I made a proof of concept probably about 6 or 7 years ago. I know when it comes to cheerleading, people expect comedy and funny and girly things, and that's not the vibe I was going for at all. So we felt like we needed to make that proof of concept to show people the grit and the athleticism behind cheerleading. And I think after doing that, then everybody was able to kind of get on the same page, and that's where we were really able to grow the story.
Why did you choose the topic of cheerleading? Like, maybe you have some kind of personal memories regarding that?
Yeah, I grew up in a sports household, so my family was always tuned in, watching sports, and whether or not the team was doing well or not would totally change the dynamic of my household. So I knew I wanted to tell a story within the sports context. For me, cheerleading is kind of like an underestimated sport. Just kind of seeing the athleticism that they have. And with this awesome electronic music kind of blasting through, you have 2.5 minutes to kind of like make it. And so I really kind of wanted to dive into that as a DJ and electronic music artist myself. Like, that's kind of where it overlapped for me.
So you're a DJ, but now you're also a filmmaker. How did you kind of navigate, combining those two roles? Like maybe like being a DJ, did it help you with being a filmmaker? Like, did you have some skills that were useful?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, DJing and directing have a lot of overlap. I feel like, with DJing, you're in front of a crowd, you're reading everybody's movement and seeing if people are vibing or not vibing. And if they're not, you have to kind of switch it up and you got to keep that rhythm going. And I feel it's the same as being on set. You got to be a leader and you got to keep everybody engaged and passionate about telling this story and moving things along, as well as I cut the film as well, so making sure that the story was always moving in the edit and the audiences would always be interested. I know there's a lot of films these days where it's like 3 hours and it's tough to stay really focused. So for me, I really wanted to make a film that was like got right to the point and was entertaining the whole way through.
And what's the story behind the script?
Yeah, we started working with my writer about 6 years ago. We met at a film institute along with Devery Jacobs and Thomas Alajide, who's also in the film. And so I kind of brought her this story that was just kind of pouring out of me, and we started working on the script together, and she kind of took the reins and just, produced such an incredible script for me to work with.
And how important is the music for your films?
Music is very important for me. I wanted to make sure we had great tracks. I think when you're an indie film, you don't usually have a big budget, so you're always trying to find something great for, not a lot of money, but because I'm a DJ, I was able to kind of like source great tracks, and for the tracks that were more expensive, just like honestly writing letters, asking like, I'm huge fans of these artists and wanting to make sure that great music was throughout the film.
And I know that as we mentioned, the film is based on your short film. And what changes did you implement towards your debut, which could, enable the short film become the actual feature film?
Yeah, the short film was just a proof of concept. So it was made. We didn't go to any festivals with it. Nobody really saw it. We just kind of made that. So when we would go to the funding bodies in Canada, which is how we were able to, make the film, that they would understand the tone and the reality of what I was trying to explore in the cheer world.
And how did you navigate your actors? Because, when you're a DJ, you kind of work with your own thoughts, but now you have to work with actual people. You have to navigate them, discuss the roles. So how did this process look like?
Yeah, I mean, I've been working as a director for 10, 15 years now. Working with actors is my favorite part of making movies. It's so great to have a co-collaborator and to build these kind of characters and bring them to life, truly. So that was my favorite part. I got all my first choices when it came to casting for this film. Evan Rachel Wood, Shannon Sossaman, Devery Jacobs. So yeah, it was just incredible to work with such incredible actors who wanted to show up and do great work and play.